Hello there and welcome to the new channel.
Here to help you see
The new you.
My name is Carmine Ortega.
Dennis Calamba.
This is Nato Agbayani.
My name is Juan Lu.
I'm Chino.
I'm Trisha.
This is Apple Manansala.
This is Attorney Carlo Ibanez.
This is Attorney Sheila Santiago.
This is Angie.
This is Orgamit.
My name is Dante Salama.
This is Jesse Francis Repastillo.
I'm Dania Cunha.
Mon Mendoza.
I am Mapet Erhina.
I'm Leo Bryan. Mike.
Nice for beer.
Sir Ian Barcelona.
Marvin Salazar. This is Sunny Haldons.
Heidi Lumainos.
This is Ivan Jude.
Patrick Geronimo.
Alan Perez.
My name is Erwin Ursua.
Mine is Bob.
My name is Lloyd Luna and this is
Future.
The Talk.
Family Business.
The Puppet Stories.
After Shift.
TNC Town Hall.
YOLO.
Marketplace.
The Home Buyer.
HR Hotline.
Danny Art Show.
Healthline.
Foreign Affairs.
COVID stories.
Awesome Day Show.
Thank you.
Money and more.
CyberNXT.
Women at Work.
Win Within.
Port Project.
The Big Picture.
Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, Pat. Good morning.
Good morning, Ivan.
Wednesday. Pat, I have a very interesting question at the back of my mind today. What are the odds of your identity getting stolen nowadays? Do you have any idea?
Well, I still don't have it, but go for it. Let me know.
Well, Pat, here it is. People think that this is something that rarely happens. Unfortunately, statistics show that your chances of being affected by this criminal activity might be much higher than you might think. So
Uh-oh.
today, let's talk about avoiding identity theft and internet scams. A wonderful Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to the new channel. We are here to help you see the new you.
Indeed, Ivan, an epic Wednesday to everyone, and welcome to CyberNXT, where we will discuss and highlight the significant best practices to improve your cybersecurity defenses.
Yep, this is Ivan Jude, your co-host for this show, and I'm streaming live from Makati.
This is Patrick Geronimo, and we are streaming live also from Makati.
Yep, and we are back. Now, to all of
We're
you who are
back.
tuning to this right now, thank you very much for your support. And by the way, just to make sure that we are coming in clear to you, medyo challenging yung internet connection natin dito sa Makati right
Yeah.
now. Can you please click on the reaction buttons or the emojis and let us know that you are here. And also, if you have any questions, comments, or reaction that you want us to hear, please type them into the chat box and we'd love to read them.
Keep it coming. So please go ahead and share this live streaming to your social media circle or to anyone you think who can benefit from this, or you can simply host a watch party for them to tune into. Tag people, mention their names, do as you please. Let's learn and have fun today.
Yes, definitely. We'll be having fun because we have a very interesting topic to talk about today. And just before that, allow me to greet some friends who are tuning into our show right now. First, of
Yeah.
course, is Nomi Garcia and also Bea Cultivo and Mr. Rohel Pagco, Chepo Garcia, Williard Nogas. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you guys, as always.
Yeah. But
Okay.
you know what? I'm very sad to know about the recent events happening
I
all
know.
around us today.
Correct. The Wrath of Typhoon Ulysses. I have a first-hand experience of this one. So fortunately, everybody's okay. So a little bit of damages, but those things can be fixed, or we can replace those. But we are very fortunate that everybody's safe in the family. But the first time I've experienced a parang wild rapids, yung flood. So you can actually hear it, not just see it, but you can actually hear the rapids. So
Yes,
amidst the
totoo yun.
pandemic,
Parang
yeah,
the wind was howling talaga, no?
it is. And
Nakakatakot.
yeah, yung our old house, no. So we were able to visit it, and it's very near the river. So there's
Mhm.
really a current. So when you traverse the flood, talaga, man, nature, you cannot really fight back. And amidst the
Oh.
pandemic calamities, there's a surge of identity theft. You know about that, Ivan?
Yes, there
Identity
are a
theft
lot of cases.
cases
Nakakainis
all
nga
around
eh.
the globe.
Nag sumasabay pa siya ngayon sa mga natural calamities
I
happening
know.
in the world today. And there's a surge. Actually, there's a very alarming statistics being gathered right
Hmm.
now kasi ang sabi sa mga tawag dito, sabi sa mga studies that actually there is a new victim for identity theft every 2 seconds. Can you just imagine that? A person, yung identity niya gets stolen every 2 seconds. Now,
Imagine in a minute. 30 people, no?
Yep, in a minute, 30 people have their identity stolen. In fact, maraming naging affected niyan, di ba?
I know. So I have this information way back 2016. No, si
Mhm.
Mark Zuckerberg was a victim of identity theft. You know that when his Twitter account
Oh,
was hacked, but his account was, of course, was recovered on time. But the thing is, these hackers or these cyber criminals were able to hack the big M, si Mark Zuckerberg, no?
oh, mga big
And
tickets, mga
you
important
know why?
personalities.
Of course, because likely the targets of this identity theft are high-profile individuals like
Mhm.
entertainers, political activists, successful people, corporate brands, and philanthropic organizations. So high profile, but it doesn't mean if you don't belong to those high profile individuals, you will not be vigilant, no?
Yeah,
And
they can actually steal your identity for various reasons, di ba?
exactly. And people do it for various reasons. You know? I remember Ivan when I first, there's a huge wave of hacked account. I was the inside of me, sabi, nobody will hack my account naman because I'm a normal
Yeah.
person, no? I belong to
Mhm.
the commoners, no? And I was trying to think about ask myself how people do it for various reasons. Ano ba talaga? Fans of entertainers do it for admiration. Others do it for memes, while others do it for malicious purposes. No, so this is sad truth. So whenever your account is out in the public, no, you are prone for theft. No, yung digital
Yes,
identity mo.
and what's more alarming to know today, Pat, is that there's about 1 out of 15 people uh, becoming victims of identity fraud. That's a study way back in 2019.
Uh-oh.
About 14.4 million people became victims of identity fraud. And locally, let's go here locally. Just this
Mhm.
October, NBI, National Bureau of Investigation, has
Yes,
been
your very own
recording
NBI.
12 to 30 identity theft cases per month since the coronavirus outbreak in March. Now, previously, pre-corona period, mga nasa 5 to 10 cases lang ang nare-record ng NBI. But right now, it's skyrocketing to 25 to 30 cases per month. And that's alarming. So, as you can see, nowadays, the chances of your identity getting stolen and used by malicious people to commit fraud is high, really high.
It
So
is. It
actually
is.
sabi nga nila mas mataas pa yung probability of your identity getting stolen compared to the chances of you winning the lottery. Now, especially this applies especially if you belong to the high risk groups. What are these high risk groups, by the way? For our audience information, yung high risk group po ay yung mga millennials at saka mga yung centennials. No, senior citizens lang. Now, millennials, if you are aged between 20 to 30 years old, high risk po kayo. Kasi ito yung mga tao na maraming pera, madalas nag-online, bumibili ng mga kung ano-ano,
Oo.
nagkiklik ng mga kung ano. Same is true with those senior citizens, usually 70 years old and above, kasi sila
Mhm.
naman yung easily tricked to do something online kasi hindi sila masyadong informed sa
Where?
technologies.
Oh, yes, yes.
So if you can type that in the chat box, if you know someone ng mga millennials na usually madalas maging victim ng identity theft, please message them and say to them that you have to listen to CyberNXT on TNC right now kasi napaka-interesting ng topics nila. And also, yung mga
Yeah.
lolo at lola natin.
Parents,
So now,
parents.
Pat,
My dad is very
parents,
active in social media, and whenever I signed up for him, syempre yung email niya, and then he was able to
oh,
open Gmail, and nagulat siya, may mga na-receive siya ng mga email. Sabi niya, anak, saan ba galing to? And well, yeah. So I gave him a parang crash course on how to safely, weave
Navigate
through
the
the emails. Yeah.
Yeah. So Pat, this begs the question: how do you avoid identity theft and internet scams?
Mhm.
Yun yung ano natin most pressing issue right now.
It-
Now, before we go deeper to that topic, I
Mhm.
want us to discuss it portion by portion, bite
Correct.
chunk pieces. So let's
Yes.
start with defining
Yes.
what
Mm.
is identity theft. Can you please brief us
Sure.
on this?
Sure. I'll be more than happy to do that for you, Ivan. So, what is identity theft? So, identity theft is the crime of obtaining the personal or financial information of another person to use their identity to commit fraud, right?
Okay.
Let me say that again. To commit fraud, such as making unauthorized transactions or purchases. Have you
O
experienced
malicious yung
all of
intent.
our... Yeah, so may mali kasi you are now targeted, or if not, you were able to click something and then they were able to get your profile. Ang
Mhm.
worst is, let's give an example. If you're doing a transaction sa bank, you were logged into to a bank, and then you used to seeing the login page, and you received
Okay.
an email. You clicked on it, and you noticed, wow, pareho to ng banka. And
All
then you
right.
log in, and then wow, it's already now a phishing site. Another one, Ivan, is identity theft is committed in many different ways.
All right.
And the end result is that victims are typically left with damage to their credit, finances, and reputation.
Uy.
Napapailing ako, Ivan, because I experienced this firsthand. When I checked on
Oo.
my statement of account, there
Oo.
were statement of account of a credit card. There were multiple transactions. It happened in the US, multiple states, no? Restaurant, imagine restaurant. So
Ang
I
masama
would
pa nun,
assume
may
I would
purchases
assume
sa
they
mga
have this.
restaurants pero wala ka dun, 'di ba? Hindi
Wala
ka
ako doon.
nakakain.
Physically, nandun, and wala ako doon. And there were a lot of e-commerce transactions. So, kaya it was justified through the bank na it's a fraudulent transactions. It's 999 USD per
Wow,
transaction on different e-commerce platform. But
pare-pare.
there were six, Ivan, 999 USD to, ah.
US
So,
dollar. So,
so
50,000 at
indeed. So medyo mabigat. So definitely, I have to contest it. Another one
oo.
is identity thieves increasingly use computer technology to obtain other
Hmm.
people's personal information for identity fraud. Yung mga dumpster
Okay.
diving, hacking, using via malware, or even use social media and phishing.
Okay.
No. Another one is
Maraming
victim.
paraan, no?
Marami. So it's now being coursed through different platforms. No, victims of
Yeah.
identity theft often do not know their identity has been stolen. Definitely, no, that's the primary reason. If you're the ones doing it, yung illegal activities na ito, you don't want to alarm the actual owner of that identity.
Oo,
So
siyempre. You want to cover your tracks. Gusto mo hindi ka mapansin, 'di ba?
right,
But I have to
right,
support your statement. Initially, yung damages to the credit, finances, and reputation. Yung first two, credit and finances, that can be easily recovered. Hindi na it's subjective, but for the sake of discussion, kaya mong bayaran yan over time, yung mga utang. But yung reputational damages, especially for organizations, this is very hard to recover because it usually means a loss of trust sa'yo or sa company mo or organization mo. And
oh,
this can spell disaster for a business. Also, na-mention mo yung mga different technologies being used right now by fraudsters to accomplish this identity theft or identity stealing, and they can do
yeah,
dumpster diving. Yung dumpster diving, 'di ba, yun yung mga basura na tinatapon natin, nakala natin
oh,
hindi na nila magagamit, flash drives
oh,
or pwede pala nilang kunin, pwede mong makuha yung information. Katulad
exactly.
nung incident, hindi naman siguro incident. This was a funny experience I had yung kapitbahay namin sa Cavite, hindi namin alam yung pangalan. Tapos yung katulad namin sa bahay, may nakitang papel na nalaman niya na yung billing statement nakapangalan Maricel. So, yung palang pangalan ng kapitbahay namin, Maricel. So, just that is one example of parang semi-dumpster diving, di ba? Nakita namin sa basurahan.
That's right. That's right. So kami, family, we are practicing the usual na before you dump it or you trash it, ginugupit-gupit namin yon. Or half of the entire page. No, I normally cut it at the middle or multiple multiple slices ng paper, and I trash it on different days or different weeks.
Yeah, that's good idea. But that we're talking about physical stuff dito sa case na yan. But there are also yung digital dumpster diving sa social media, di ba? We post a lot of information. Previously, we tackled a portion of this topic na pag sobrang dami mo ng post, madaling makuha yung identity mo, madaling makopy yung mukha mo, magamit sa deepfakes, mga ganyan. So, nakaka-worry ang identity theft cases.
Have you tried looking up your name and social media platform? Tinype mo na ba Ivan Jude, tas ilan ang lumabas?
Meron atang, previously I checked, parang 3 or 4. Now, why don't we challenge our audience right now? Sabihin natin, i-ask natin sila, how many profiles can you see on social media, particularly Facebook, with the same name that you have? So, ikaw pa, ilan yung
Around 30, near my area, kasi definitely when you look it up, it will be sorted probably within your country range or your location. But the thing is, I was a bit surprised. There was an account, kasi wala na siya ngayon. I reported it. It's not me, and I reported it to Facebook. But when I discovered it, it's using my actual photo from the old profile pictures.
Same photo pa, ha?
Yeah, well, it's not the same on that very moment, but old pictures of mine. It was posted. So definitely, it's not me, because there's the same name, old profile picture, Patrick Geronimo, and boom, I reported it.
Now, let's ask our audience. We have Attorney Clemente Panganduyon, Cherry May, Glenn Luton, JM Fernandez, who are tuning with us right now. Guys, can you please type into the chat box or the comment section, ilan yung kapareho mong pangalan sa social media? Or just for example, sa Facebook, yun na lang easiest natin. Let's just try to see kung meron kang kaparehong account. And if you think na it's a fraudulent account, malicious account, sige nga, i-type nyo. So Pat, actually hindi lang naman isang type yung identity theft eh. Meron itong different types. Meron it is applied to different contexts. Now I can think of 3 actually. So to start with, yung pinakaunang identity theft or the type of identity theft that is most common is what they call financial identity theft. This identity theft activity is used or this is meant to obtain credit, goods, services, and other benefits for the sake na may financial benefit doon sa fraudulent person. So, para lang ginamit mo yung pera na hindi sa'yo, ginamit mo yung credit card na hindi sa'yo, ginamit mo yung bagay na hindi sa'yo to do something or to accomplish something with financial gain. The second identity theft type that I can think of is itong social security identity theft. Now that we all know that social security identity, ito yung parang chine-check ng government or yung mga institution, governing or regulatory bodies about our existence sa particular country. Now, this can also be used, this parang information is required by banks, by credit companies if you apply for loans, tapos for credit card,
housing loan,
housing loans, mga ganyan. Tapos,
Mga
if
investment.
the thief can steal your identity, they can actually avail credit card, loans, debts, tapos hindi nila babayaran. Tapos magtataka ka na lang na bakit ikaw yung kinokolekta. 'Di ba?
Exactly.
Nakakainis
So,
'yun.
so for all you people listening out there, no, these are the reasons that I'm sure there are a lot of information that Ivan's gonna tell you, no, but right now it's now resonating with me that if you're a type of person that will actually think that, oh, I'm a member of the commoners, I'm a normal person, probably if they gained access to my digital identity, that's okay. So these are the primary reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now, Pat, due to the pandemic right now, yung authorities, NBI, PNP, they have seen a spike in fraudulent unemployment insurance claims. 'Di ba? Maraming unemployed, lalo na sa US. Yung mga
Wow.
FBI, yung ano nila, yung agency nila, they noticed yung mga insurance claim dumadami, pero these are all fraudulent accounts, no? Made up accounts. Now, just before this discussion, nagtanong tayo kung ilan yung mga similar accounts on Facebook. Sabi ni Attorney Clem Panganduyon, wala sa akin. Ako lang ang nag-iisang ako sa FB. Good for you, Attorney. Now, the last or the third identity theft type that I want to bring into the discussion is itong medical identity theft. This is accomplished to obtain free medical care. Kung dental care ba yan, or kung may sakit ka, gusto mong pumunta sa mga hospitals, ganyan. Now, you would think na hindi ito mangyayari kasi parang napaka, naman siguro, illogical kapag nanakawin mo yung identity ng ibang tao para ikaw magpa-doktor, ganyan, di ba?
Or
But this happens.
they will use yung mga HMO cards. It's the same thing. If you lost your wallet, and you were not able to report it to your employer or to your HMO that you lost it, no? Somebody can use it. Wow.
Yeah. Now, Pat, having said all of these things, and secondary topic natin, identity theft and internet scams. Now,
That's right.
I want to ask you, how are internet scams and identity thefts related? Pwede mo bang i-explain sa audience natin yan?
Sure. So, flash it on the screen. So, the question is, how are internet scams and identity thefts related? Right? So, identity theft is the most common consequence of data breach, occurring about 65% of the time. So, imagine the number, 65% of the time. So, data breaches are, another one is data breaches are security incidents where information is accessed, stolen, and used by a cyber criminal without authorization, definitely. And another one is data breaches usually happen through internet scams. So I'm pretty sure whenever you watch a YouTube, I don't want to mention yung mga YouTube channels, but whenever I'm watching Ivan, there's this ads, right? And a lot of gurus right now about on how to invest on forex. O yan, alam mo na yung mga pinapanood ko sa
Yes.
So there are a lot of gurus right now offering me trainings at they would say that just sign up and attend on these seminars. But I attended one. It's just a matter of they're just talking about their experience. They're not actually talking about really on how to help you in these things, no? And at the end of the seminars, they would actually offer you the entire nakinig ka ng 1 hour, and at the end of the session, they would actually offer you the actual training. So that is upsell na. So marketing 101.
Yes, so it means to say, Pat, yung identity theft, yun na yung end result. Kumbaga, that is parang the end goal. Makuha nila yung identity mo, pero nagsisimula yan from the data breach. Tsaka kung ang data breach naman, kung tatanungin natin kung saan nanggagaling yun, that is made possible kapag may mga internet scams, or if you avail mga scams or online fraud,
Oh,
ganyan, 'di
exactly.
ba? And these internet scams are usually found yung mga advertisements. Hindi lang sa mga forex trading, ganyan. Meron din yung gustong magpapayat, gustong magpaputi, gustong yumaman ng madali, 'di ba? Mabilis. Things like
Parang
that.
tumama sa akin lahat yun, Ivan, ah.
So we have to be aware to our audience. This goes out to you. I
Yes.
want you to be very wary and particular about the common internet scams that we have today.
Yes.
Now there are a lot actually, but let's narrow down to two na particularly applicable sa situation natin right now, because as technology continues to evolve, itong mga cyber criminals will actually use more sophisticated tools and techniques to
They
exploit
are improving.
technology. Yeah,
If
nag-upgrade
defend,
din, no? They're
nag-upgrade din. If
after three
cyber
things: your personal
yes,
information, your
exactly.
identity, and your money. All
Oh no.
at the end of the day, it will boil down to the motivation to steal money from you. So you need to look. You need to be more watchful about two things. Number one, COVID-19 scams. Anything
Mhm.
related to COVID-19. It could be
Yeah.
malicious email attachments na send sa email
Yeah.
mo, katulad ng dad mo, nare-receive niya lang bigla sa email mo na donate to this, donate to that, hindi ka naman
Hindi.
nag-subscribe, or
O yung mga
links na
vaccine,
nagsisend
yung
sa'yo. Yeah,
mga vaccine
mga
updates.
ganyan. Updates. Hindi ka naman nag-subscribe, hindi mo naman naalala na may pinindot ka or something. Now,
Yeah.
some of this may be genuine and legitimate, pero exercise caution. Basahin niyo yung buong email. And i-check niyo yung mga organizations or authorities behind. And
Correct.
before ka mag-submit to that or before you click, you can always do a double checking from our
Yeah.
good friend Google. Tanungin mo kay Google, search if this
Yeah.
is yes, and sabi ni Attorney Clemente Panganduyon, think before you click. Ang discipline dapat to avoid phishing. Thank you for supporting with
Thank
that
you.
powerful thing. And
Yeah.
secondly, imposter scams. Ito yung pangalawa. Marami ng impostor ngayon, di ba? This occurs when you receive an email or a call from a person claiming to be from the government, from a family member, from a friend
Yeah.
request, or yung financial advisors, things like that. Tapos
Yeah.
they will ask for your contact details. But I have a
Remember,
very sad experience about this.
do you remember, Ivan, those I'm not sure what year was that one, probably 5 years ago, that you will receive a call, then you won something, and then all of a sudden they would ask money from you so that they can actually facilitate the transfer of money. Imagine that, asking money for you so that they can facilitate the priced money so that it will be forwarded back to you.
That's
The
that's very
evolution.
sad. Similar incident happened to a good friend of mine. Ito siya, napaka-vulnerable kasi feeling niya nasa rock bottom sila ng family nila ngayon, and parang yung finances nila hindi masyado maganda currently. And meron itong Middle Eastern man na naging kaibigan niya sa Facebook, nagchat-chat sila, and parang nahulog yung loob niya, nakuha yung loob niya, and this guy promised to send money to her dito sa Philippines amounting to if I'm not mistaken, 500,000 pesos. Pero before niya daw ma-receive yun, she has to deposit a certain amount to this particular guy na parang middleman na nag-process para makuha yung money from Middle East papunta sa Philippines. Now, the person na nasa Middle East kept on asking or messaging itong kaibigan natin babae na napadala ko na, did you claim it? Na andito na sa taong ganito, bayaran mo na siya, yung parang processing fee. Sadly, nagbayad siya ng 10,000 last month. And no matter how many times I inform her and warned her na that's actually parang a malicious or fraudulent attempt. So ano na lang, hindi ko na lang iniisip ngayon kung bakit hindi siya nakinig sa akin. But
And, Ivan, sometimes there two things, EQ and IQ. Sometimes if we are very emotional, like what you've mentioned at that time, right? rock bottom yung state ng family nila. So you're very emotional, you're
Oh.
thinking all these things, and mataas yung EQ mo. And then with that, you cannot have both at a higher level, IQ and EQ.
Yes.
So an HR practitioner, an expert, told me before that whenever there's a higher EQ, a lower EQ, you do stupid things.
Yeah, yun nga eh. So, we have so much more to discuss about identity theft and internet scams today. But before we move forward, let's call for a short break. So, pagbalik natin, we will discuss more about the simple tips that we can use to avoid these activities. Stay on
Sure.
stream. We will be back. Welcome
There
back,
you go.
everyone. You're watching
Welcome back.
CyberNXT on TNC. Before we proceed, Pat, I'd like to greet some friends tuning in. Kelly Ann Espino and Mr. Dennis Brian Baricuatro. Thank you so much for tuning in from
so much.
Visayas and Mindanao. Pat,
That's right.
before we took a short break, we mentioned that we will be sharing tips on how to avoid identity theft.
course.
How about you start with the first one?
Definitely. First tip, no, this is double your login protection. So if everybody's
Okay.
using it right now, definitely you are probably using email or online banking, definitely social media and other services that would require logging in. Double your login protection, and we strongly encourage everyone to enable this. And if you're the only one in the family that actually is using it, try to infect your parents or your brothers and sister that let them use or enable MFA. Now, at the end of the day, it will not hurt. So it will just be added as an added security layer for you. I'm pretty sure your parents or even your grandparents,
Yes.
they're now using social media. Try to assist them and enable the social media. Those small effort will actually be a bigger benefit for everyone. No, so
Yes, correct.
MFA is an option. Enable it by using a trusted mobile device, of course, such as your smartphone or an authentication app or a
Yes,
secure
meron naman
token.
yan.
That's right. So enable
Yes,
it.
Pat. Ay,
And
naalala ko lang, this happened siguro a couple of months ago or 3 months ago. I have this
uh-huh.
friend, her name is Bea, and she was kind of active on social media, lalo na sa Facebook. And what happened was someone was trying to break into her account, and good thing naka-activate yung multi-factor authentication niya. And every time this person, this malicious person was attempting to break in, she is receiving this verification code sa mobile device niya. Naku, mabuti na lang merong MFA, kundi na-open yung account niya, nakuha yung identity niya, and it may be used for something else na very unlikable. No, good thing. Now that's the first tip. Double your login protection. The second tip I'm gonna give you to avoid identity theft is shake up your password protocol. We've talked about this previously, and just for again guidance, you should consider the longest password or passphrase permissible. It should be at least 14 characters, combination of numbers, uh, special characters and letters, and uppercase and lowercase. Now you can be very creative and customize your standard password for different sites. Kung marami kang social media accounts, dapat iba-iba din yon. Now that can be very, troublesome sometimes. So there are these mga software applications and tawag nito, solutions online, yung mga password managers. You can actually avail that, LastPass, mga ganyan, to help you manage your passwords across different sites. And also,
I want to share, Ivan. So, I used to be an IT manager in a big organization, and part of my role is to conduct IT updates for the community. And there's always a clamor for information on how they can manage their password. Because we provide them platforms, we provide them access to email, we provide them access to VPN, and so on and so forth. And of course, online transactions for banking. I have this very simple, parang playing with words. Like for example, the password is Patrick. Just to be more simple lang. So if I'm gonna use it for another institution, not naming the bank, let's say Bank One, no, Bank One, I would do Bank One Patrick. That's the password for Bank One, or Patrick Bank One. And if I'm required to change it, I would actually change dun sa letter A of Patrick to an @ sign. Still, the one word that I would always remember is Patrick Bank One. But if I'm required to change it, I would just change the A to @ sign. Still, isa lang ang nire-remember ko. Kasi there's always, especially from our elderly, Patrick, I cannot remember so many passwords. I have so many login, and then they are now requiring me to change passwords every 90 days or now 60 days. So I cannot maintain all of those. So on tendency, they would actually write it, which is a bad practice.
Yes, bad practice. So yeah, you have to be very creative, and you have to take note that your password is your parang first line of defense, and your MFA is your second line of defense against identity theft, lalo na sa social media accounts mo. Now, why don't you give them our third tip for the day, Pat?
The third one is be up to date. Okay, you heard it right. Keep your software updated to the latest version available. Definitely, you will receive a notification that there's an update, especially if you're using an iOS or Android or Windows or Mac OS or even Linux. There are some versions that is available out there. Now, the thing is, you need to update the most critical ones, or if it's with if it's mentioned that it's about security, we strongly suggest that you update it. Meron namang may mga options naman doon, you don't need to update if it's not about security. And maintain your security settings to keep your information safe by turning on automatic updates, so you don't have to think about it.
Importante yun, no?
It is. And set your security software to run regular scans. You would actually experience it in my laptop, especially if you're using a specific antivirus or sa Windows. I set it that they would actually run middle of the night. But the thing is, you need to keep it on, no, so that it will continue running. But again, you're not using it kasi, Ivan, if the this software or this operating system from your phone or from your laptop, you will actually schedule it probably at the middle of the day. And if you're
Yeah.
using it, the system will actually slow down. So I encourage that you schedule it.
Yeah. That's it. Thank
Mhm.
you so much for giving us your thoughts on the third tip for avoiding identity theft, Pat. So there are three
Mhm.
for your guidance. Double your login protection using MFA. Shake up your
Mhm.
password protocol, 14 characters and complex, and be creative. Last is be up to date. The third one. Now, why is this very important? Kasi they're very rampant and very parang ah, tawag dito, intrusive. Sobrang dami na ng
Yes.
mga cases of identity theft
Mhm.
and internet scams today. And our audience needs to be particular. We will share with you some quotes of the day related to internet identity theft in internet scams. The first one, you may laugh.
Hindi word of the day na, no? Quote of the day.
Oh, quote of the day. So let's read it. If it's
There you
too
go.
good to be true, it usually is. In Tagalog, kung kaduda-duda, kaduda-duda nga. Tama ba yun?
Oo.
Tama ba yung parang
Tama
gano'n?
naman, tama, Ivan.
So,
Kapag sobrang okay, probably hindi yan okay.
oo, parang hindi talaga okay. Dapat magdalawang
Oo.
isip ka kung hindi lang siguro dalawa, tatlo, apat, lima. And also, the second one, dalawa yung quote natin. This is I heard our good friend Miguel mention this to us. Sabi niya, if you are not paying for something, you are actually not the customer. You are the product being sold. So be very,
Oh.
very wary and careful, lalo na pag mga free ganito, free ganyan, di ba?
Related to that one, i-connect na natin to, no? For all the social media platforms out there, you're using it and you're not paying for it. Actually, if you're the user, if you're the subscriber, you sign up to, sabihin na natin, Facebook. All right. So you
Oh,
sign up to Facebook, it's free. No, have you wondered? No, okay, if it's free, I'm gonna use Facebook. I'm gonna post anything. Probably click something, and you are not really the customer at the end of the day. You are the product.
you are the product being sold. Now, but we will move forward at this portion of our discussion. We will also give them tips on how to protect themselves against online fraud. Kanina,
Mhm.
against identity theft. Ngayon naman, against online fraud. Gusto mo ba yan?
Sure, go
Yeah,
for
I think
it.
this will greatly help. Now, first and foremost, I want to, remind them that it is very important for people in the internet to remember that you have to stay protected while connected. Because the
Mhm.
bottom line at the end of the day is that whenever you are online, you are actually vulnerable. Now,
Yeah.
if your network, say for example, your phone or whatever, your laptop is compromised for any reason, may pumasok na malware dyan, or di kaya hackers break into your account, wala na. Someone might be eavesdropping on you. Someone might be observing you from afar and just waiting for the right timing to execute yung malicious activity. That is why before this happens, dapat maglagay ka na ng maraming defenses o tinatawag natin na defense in depth
Mhm.
strategy. So,
That's
what are these simple tips na ibibigay natin sa audience?
There
I
you
want you to
go.
start with the first one, Pat.
Sure. The first tip again, no, wow, so many tips right now. I hope our listeners are doing some screenshots. No? First one,
Yes,
practice safe surfing. Are
safe
you Ivan?
surfing.
Are you practicing safe surfing, Ivan? So
As
practice
much as I can.
practice safe web surfing wherever you are by checking for the green lock or padlock icon in your browser bar. Have you noticed before there's no padlock, no? I hope I can share my screen. But when you're using a browser, those URL information above your browser, right next to it is a padlock icon. If you don't see it,
Yes,
probably would say that the site is not safe. Get out.
correct.
Get out.
Yes,
Ibig
that is very
sabihin,
important.
yeah, that website is not secured, right?
Oh.
So,
Just moment ago, Pat, actually before
hmm,
nag-start ang show, I was trying to browse a particular website. Tapos parang kahapon, na-access ko pa siya and there were no issues. Today, parang nag-expire yung SSL certificate niya, yung security certificate niya,
oh,
and I cannot
that's
access
one.
it anymore kasi block na siya ng antivirus. Sabi ng antivirus software ko, this
Mhm.
website is using an unsecure connection kasi nga wala na yung padlock sa taas.
Yeah, yung
So,
certificate.
very important kapag may
Fire.
ganon,
Yeah.
be careful, be careful, be careful. The second
Mhm.
tip that I'll be giving our audience today for protecting themselves against online scams is avoid free. Again, the word free. It's not free at all. Avoid free but unsecured internet. Lalo na sa mga parks or sa mga malls na ganyan. Well, of course, these institutions, naglalagay naman sila ng safety protocols. But if you are out in the wild, you are in the place where you do not know where if they are putting in place yung mga security measures. So better
Mhm.
yet, free. Avoid free
Wow.
internet access. Kasi free lang yan, pero you are the product. Remember that.
If I
Okay,
may,
the
if
third
I may share, if I may share, Ivan,
yeah.
for probably when I started going out, no, I visited a couple of coffee shop. They used to offer free Wi-Fi, and all of a sudden they scrapped it. They're no longer providing free Wi-Fi. I asked the
Mhm.
manager how come. Though I have my own LTE, I was just wondering why all of a sudden they're not providing free Wi-Fi. They said there were reports that using their Wi-Fi were actually they exposed those customers who visited their coffee shop. So of course, without naming the coffee shop, and it's actually really happening, no? And I hope
Yes.
they will actually improve their infrastructure.
Yes. I agree.
And to do that, if you can have it, no, use your personal hotspot or mobile data. I don't have here my mobile spot. No, yeah. I have a mobile packet Wi-Fi, no?
Pocket
So
Wi-Fi.
it really depends on your area. I've invested on one telco. Unfortunately, there's a poor signal there. Then I have to reapply. I hope with this 5G network that is being implemented in the country. I'm not sure what stage are we or where we at right now, no, in implementing the 5G. That they said, of course, it can eliminate some of the dead spots. I hope, no.
Correct. So kailangan
Where
talaga 'yon. If lalo na if they are doing yung mga transactions na medyo critical.
Yeah.
Well,
So
if they want
if you're in a public space and all of a sudden you need to do an online banking transaction, or you forgot, oh, I'm gonna fund one bank account, and you sit in a coffee shop, and then you will log in. Please don't do that. As much as possible, use a trusted internet source, maybe your mobile data. Try to enable your own data connectivity. Avoid using free Wi-Fi if you're gonna do
yes.
transaction, especially dealing with banks or credit cards.
Let's put it this way. It's like your safer alternative from free Wi-Fi, di ba? So,
Right.
instead of using free Wi-Fi, if pwede naman mobile data or personal broadband, yung mga packet Wi-Fi, yun na lang muna gamitin mo. Just to
That's
be
right.
safe. The
Mhm.
fourth tip is to keep your personal information confidential. Now, take note of
Mhm.
the word confidential. When something is confidential, you just don't share it to anyone. Diba?
Mhm.
You don't
So,
allow people to get a peek, parang to gather information about yourself. Ano yung mga information na very important? First, of course, yung mga bank account numbers mo, credit
mm,
card numbers mo, lalo na yung kasali yung mga codes.
mm,
Also, yung date of birth mo or your address. These information are called in cybersecurity lingo, tinatawag natin ito na personally identifiable information or PII.
mm,
Anything that can help people or other people or organizations or authorities identify you as the person through this information. Now, it's very critical because when other people get hold of this kind of information, they can use it to manufacture or create another identity na parang ikaw din. So that is why, kung may magtatanong sa'yo, kailan ka pinanganak? Saan ka nakatira? Anong pangalan mo? Anong
They
number
can
mo?
now build, no? They can now build the entire database of yourself. I just realized, Ivan, I'm always scouring the marketplace in one social media platform or even yung mga e-commerce. And an option there is, they are actually showing their bank account in a specific post. If they are the seller, they would actually post it in their for sale item, no? Nakalagay doon, there's a description. You can pay via GCash, you can pay via Paymaya, and bank transfers. And then nagulat ako, bank transfers, specific bank with this account number, specific bank with this account number. That's a very bad practice. So all of you online sellers out there, we strongly suggest that you don't put the bank account details in your postings, no?
Yeah, or if ipopost man nila, sana right after validating the transaction or the person interacting with the system na. Yung parang payment section na lang talaga para mag-push through yung transaction. And last but not the least, Pat, why don't you give them the final tip for avoiding identity theft?
There you go. The last tip, type web URLs directly. A lot of people right now hate typing, but this is actually one of the best tips. Now, type website URLs directly into the address bar instead of clicking on links or cutting and pasting the email. For example, if you receive an email, hey Ivan, this is the new site. Please log in to see your new online banking site. If you click it, then we would assume that it's a phishing site. So might as well, go to URL. It's very simple. You have the keyboard. You always have the keyboard. You in a small screen. If you're browsing it through your smartphone, don't type it. Go directly. And I would assume that these banks, no, very very intuitive naman yung mga website. You can actually look for it in their actual website. So if you're the ones typing it, you're always sure that you're actually visiting the correct site.
Napaka-ano pa naman ngayon ng mga malicious people. Kopyang-kopya na yung PayPal, yung phishing site ng PayPal from the original one. Meron din sa BPI, sa BDO. These are all happening right now. So be very careful. Don't just click on links on your email, so type them directly. Now, that's a bunch of things we need to remember, and I hope our audience are taking good screenshots of what's displayed on their screen right now. And before we proceed, we'll be calling for another short break, so stay on stream. We will be back. Welcome back to CyberNXT with Patrick and Ivan. So, again, guys, CyberNXT is not only the show available on TNC. There are so many shows that you can choose from and that you can tune into to guide you and to inspire you to transform you. No, why don't we give them a glimpse of what's available on TNC, the new channel? So we
There
have
you
the big
go.
picture, which shares inspiring stories of notable personalities. It's Mondays to Fridays, 7 p.m. We have HR Hotline that introduces us to the wonderful world of human resource management. That's Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 noon.
There you go. Have an insightful Saturday afternoon because the family business is everyone's business at 4 p.m. The fourth project is about life, business, and success. Stories live from Dubai, UAE, 6 p.m. or 10 p.m. Philippine Saturdays. Usapang Beauty is about beauty beyond what your eyes can see. Thursdays and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m.
Yes, the world has faced an unprecedented pandemic and napakaraming calamities then. It's time to hear positive testimonies straight from those who recovered from the disease. COVID stories, Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. Discover your life purpose and learn from others' turnaround stories by tuning into U-Turn, Mondays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. The Home Buyer is where you hear remarkable stories about building and owning a property, Mondays and Thursdays at 4 p.m.
Laugh and learn through the Puppet Stories Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Magbenta, bumili at tumulong dahil bukas na ang TNC Marketplace, an online night bazaar Thursdays and Fridays at 10 p.m. YOLO is all for us to understand that law is fun and cool too. Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Watch and learn about money and more. Streams live from the Philippines and the US. Tuesdays at 8:30 Philippine time and 5:30 a.m. California, USA.
Yes, we also have this show where we have two leaders in one platform, TNC The Talk, Mondays at 12 noon. After Shift is a chillaxing show about your choices and lives after work, Wednesdays and Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Discover and learn strategies on self-leadership to win in life through Win Within, Saturdays at 8:30 p.m.
Dream, achieve, nurture, and inspire. Tag your kids along and watch Danny Art Show Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Global issues, common interest, learn together across borders. Foreign affairs streams on Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Because health is wealth. Healthline on Wednesdays and Fridays at 4 p.m.
Yes, we also have this amazing show, Awesome Day, Mondays at 2:30 p.m. Make sure to make your day an awesome day every day. Also, you can start your Saturday celebrating women at work, 9 a.m. Saturdays. TechQ helps you understand the emerging technologies shaping our future, Fridays at 2:30 p.m. And of course, in a world where everything is turning out to be digital, CyberNext aims to empower people and companies to be secure in the digital world. We are streaming every Wednesdays at 12 noon. You can also catch our TNC original shows such as One Day, an inspiring 30-minute storytelling. It alternates with TNC Town Hall, co-hosted by TNC founders Lloyd and Apple. This show is where we talk to you, our valued audience, about our shows on TNCs. There are so many more coming up on TNC and that will truly inspire you. So please follow our channel on Facebook and also on YouTube and let us help you see the new you.
All
Wow.
right.
A lot of shows.
I know. Family is
Yes.
growing.
Yeah, the family is growing. And just a short of a recap, at the start of the show, we gave our audience the tips to avoid identity theft.
That's right.
Also, at the middle portion of the show, we gave them tips to avoid internet scams. Now, just
Mhm.
before we end our show, we have to tell them also locally on how to report or where to report identity theft and internet scams if ever they encounter it. Tama
Yeah.
ba? Okay ba yon, Pat?
Go for it.
Yes, of course. To start with, we have to take note that we already have the NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, you can just go to the nearest agency, the pinakamalapit na NBI office near you,
Right.
or also to the regional offices. Now, NBI said that they are already warning criminals and scammers and swindlers na nasa social media ngayon that are also making the lives of our fellow Filipino people parang harder at times of these calamities and our
Or
situation right now with the pandemic kasi naging active sila sa internet to become aware and up to date sa mga recent developments sa paligid natin, but these swindlers, these scammers are taking the opportunity, riding the tide to make a fool of these people. Now, if these criminals steal your identity, you can actually report it to NBI.
that's right.
And just a safe parang warning or advice from NBI, never ever post sensitive information online about yourself to keep predators at bay. Now,
Okay.
aside from NBI, we also have, ikaw na dito, Pat.
There you go. Aside from NBI, we have the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group, right?
Yep.
So, definitely online identity theft that cause damages to party is punishable by imprisonment of
Pwede
up to
makulong.
12 years. No? Imprison, may kulong to, bro. So, remind
Yeah.
public following reports of a surge of duplicate or dummy Facebook accounts. This was remember I remember this. So a wave of dummy accounts, and even our president issued a comment that if you're not really
May
gonna straighten
verbal
up, no,
warning.
a verbal warning lang. So if you're not gonna fix it, then the government will take actions. So, but in this
Yes.
case, anything that definitely there's always a platform within the platform that you can actually report the duplicated or dummy accounts. But if
Yeah.
still out there and causing damage to you, PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group is an option, no? In an
Yeah.
advisory nga pala, Ivan, by the PNP Cybercrime Group, explained that identity theft, even without causing any damage to the affected user, would still merit jail time of 6 months
6 months.
and
Oo.
1 day to 6 years, according to the Republic Act. May batas to.
May batas yan.
10175 or the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012.
Yep, that's correct.
Victims of these criminal acts are encouraged to report to the PNP Cybercrime Group main office at Camp Crame or to the nearest regional anti-cybercrime
Yes.
unit. So, the group, our very own PNP anti-cybercrime group, advise affected users to take screenshots of the fake accounts for evidence, and also urge account holders to their security and privacy settings to ensure that no information may be accessible to the public while scrutinizing people on their friends list. So, in this episode, where all the tips that we've mentioned, no, it's being supported by the law itself and our very own authorities.
Yep. And also, Pat, if you're active on social media, I'm asking our director right now to post the comment on the comment section or the chat section. You can
Mhm.
report actually yung mga identity theft and internet scams, whichever online platform or social media platform you are currently active in. So you have
Mhm.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, and of course, TikTok. If you are seeing
Mm.
someone using your identity to create malicious or to for any malicious purposes or kahit naging duplicate lang, that is something already alarming, so report it right
Report,
away. We are flashing
report,
that
report.
on screen. So in this case, don't worry about clicking on the link. That is a legitimate source. Galing po yan sa amin sa CyberNXT and sa
Okay.
IPV network. So you can click on that link to report any activity na malicious sa tingin mo, and it
Yeah.
can cause damage to your online identity.
Of
So be
course,
very careful. And
of
lastly,
course.
Pat,
And the most important one for banks and credit card, no? If you notice, there are some scams already that involves your bank accounts or credit card. Contact your bank immediately.
mhm,
Every bank has its own hotline, so make sure you have to keep all those numbers. If you are in an ATM, sample lang, look for a hotline number, or better yet, save it in your phone so that you can actually easily contact your bank immediately. No.
That's
And
correct.
yeah, so all the questions that you may have, if currently you're not commenting in our the chat box, no, you can contact us directly for on a anyway, for the corporate setting, we offer takedowns and brand reputation protection services. By the way, plug ko na yun, Ivan.
Yes.
But anything that you need to discuss or reach out, you can always email us at cybernext@ipvnetwork.com. Follow us also, we are also in LinkedIn, and the website is ipvnetwork.com.
Yes, of course. Definitely, they can reach out to us and we will be more than glad to assist them with their cybersecurity concerns. Now, Pat, thank you so much. Nag-enjoy ako sa discussion natin today. Despite medyo challenging yung internet connectivity natin kanina. It's
That's
been a
right.
fun discussion with you. Wonderful Wednesday nga. And we've learned so much from these discussions and of course, also from the interactions and engagements from our
Of
audience.
course.
Lalo na shout out to Attorney Clem Panganduyon, thank you so much for actively
Thank you.
participating in our show. And
Mm.
who knows, we might be able to invite you in one of our upcoming episodes to talk about law and cybersecurity, things like that. Now, I think at this point we need to say goodbye for the
So that's
meantime to
right.
our
So
users. Yeah.
everyone, thank you so much, especially kay Attorney. You've been very engaging in this episode, and we hope that this episode was helpful and informative for you. And if you enjoyed the show, hit the like button, share this to your social circle, and click on subscribe. There are a lot of interesting cybersecurity matters that we'll be talking about, and we invite you to learn more with us on the upcoming episodes. If you need advice or guidance on cybersecurity, of course, feel free to reach out. We posted our email, and we will be more than happy to assist you.
Tama. And catch us again, same time, same place next week. We need to be aware, we need to be informed, and most importantly, we need to be secure. In this digital world, we need to be mindful of the things that we do. Your next cyber strategy should start with you. This is Ivan, your co-host for CyberNXT.
This is Patrick. See you again next week. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Keep safe.